I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is Smooth Butt AJ. We're coming at you with Season 5, Episode 32, How to Make $10 Million Right Now. I think you know what we're going to talk about. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at PointsOPressure.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass.
Damn, that, no matter how my day's gone, hearing that intro music just gets my rocks off.
It just fucking makes your wee-wee hard, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome. How's your, how you doing?
I have myself a vodka soda in front of me. We,
literally
just talked about what we were going to do first.
Yes. Okay, so, context for these. We bought them in...
You bought them in?
Me and my wife.
Oh, I was like, I didn't
the
fucking
Royal
buy
we.
any of these.
We bought these in Idaho, which, despite having rampant racism, has slightly higher alcohol
has much
percentage.
better liquor laws.
Much better liquor laws, despite being a much worse state in every way.
They may be more racist, but at least they have liquor to cope.
Yep. And so my wife was like, oh, canned cocktails, let's try a few. And we tried these ones.
10 Barrel Brewing Co. That was mine. It just opened. I just barely opened it for the first time.
I have blood orange vodka soda. You have...
I was given lemongrass lime, which sounds like you gave me the B-movie version of yours.
So let me tell you about these. We cracked these open when we got home, and they came with a Moscow Mule. That was pretty good, actually. Surprisingly good. And I tried... basically one of each in the box, because why not? And I don't want to set you up or alter what you're gonna think about these drinks. I'm guessing that it's gonna be like a LaCroix that's spicy. A spicy LaCroix.
Yeah.
Let's give it a taste. They're 7%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really not good.
Yeah, that is terrible. There's no sugar, no sweetness at all. Here, try the blood orange.
Here.
You think of blood orange, you got citrus.
Try what tasted like freshly cut grass, but not good freshly cut grass. Freshly cut grass from the meth house down the road.
Yeah, this is freshly cut grass, but
that one's
they
way
only
better.
have a little bit of grass. It's still trash.
After having this one first and then having the blood orange,
let me go back.
I'm like, ooh, that's good.
We're supposed to make slurp noises. Let me go back.
Oh, God.
That is way better than that one.
Yeah, this one fucking sucks.
Horrible. It's like a LaCroix, but less staticky.
Yeah. It's like a LaCroix, but if you aggressively poured it into a glass with ice.
Yeah, if you stirred it. If you stirred the bubbles down a little bit. Wow, that is atrocious. And we were really pissed off because the other cocktail, it's not a vodka soda. It's called something else. I don't remember. But it's made of grapefruit. And you should...
That sounds awful.
Here, medical advice of the week. If you're on any medications, do not take grapefruit. If you're on birth control, it makes it not work.
Damn.
If you have, antidepressants, they don't work as well. Heart medicine doesn't work as well. Do not consume anything with grapefruit in it if you take prescription medications. So we do have to drink this by the end of this episode.
Okay. I will, at one point, just drink a fuck
just
ton
all of it
to get it out of the way. Does
Same.
anybody have a screwdriver in here so I can just pop the bottom and
just shotgun that shit.
it?
Hell yeah.
Oh, so how was your week?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. So we've been doing Spooktober. But we're starting in Spooktember. Nice, he's doing it. How few times I've actually seen you physically recoil?
Yeah,
that is intense.
Especially when something's going into my mouth. That generally doesn't happen.
Usually that's pleasurable.
Yeah.
That's linked to the pleasure center in your brain.
This is my coping mechanism.
Yeah. So we've been watching, the classics. We talked about that earlier, right? Have we talked about that?
I think so. That we watched.
episodes
So my girlfriend has no previous history with horror movies. Her parents just didn't do it.
Suck.
Yeah, I mean they're cool. They're cooler than mine. But yeah, they just were like, oh, horror? Nah, fuck that.
That's for the pores.
Yeah, yeah, right. And so we showed her like Evil Dead 1 and 2. We still need to watch Army of Darkness, the original Alien. But yeah, we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
So
Last Friday we watched Hellraiser.
which no one had seen except for me.
I like it. My wife was like, it was kind of dumb.
It's weird as fuck.
I love weird as shit stuff. So after the movie, under suggested movies, we came across Mad God.
Oh yeah.
Which is by Phil Tippett.
No, that was before. That was when we were
that
looking
before?
for something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we watched the trailer, and bruh,
I need to watch it.
it's so good. When
Maybe
you're
I'll
ready,
watch
I'll
it
give you the
tonight.
sign-in.
I'm pretty sure. Don't I just have access to it with Prime?
No, you gotta pay.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give you my Shudder account.
Yeah.
But it is so good. Obviously, I'm not gonna say anything at all. But it's stop motion. It's technically anime because it's an animated movie, so that's anime.
Hot.
No music in it, so it's not a musical. But
Titties?
yes, many.
Fucking nice. Stop motion boobies. Sign me
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck up.
There's a lot of shit. Like, it's the kind of movie that you can watch a million times because there's so much shit happening on the screen all at once.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's very intricate and detailed.
It's like, I don't remember what it's called.
It's like an I Spy book.
Yeah. Right. You can always go back and read them.
Yep, I still reading those books.
Yeah.
But
I'm still on the second.
yeah, I just restarted the
I
first.
fucked hardcore with those books
Oh
when I
hell
was
yeah!
a kid.
The Halloween one was the best.
Yeah, I Spy was the poor people's Where's Waldo.
Yeah, 100%. In fact, growing up, my sister's gonna text me about this later when she hears this. We played a game on the computer on our old Windows
the I Spy
95,
game.
and
Yeah.
it had the skeleton, and it's like,
Yeah.
enter the manor now.
Yeah. I
Click
love
to
my
enter
brothers
your name, and it would
love
put your
that game.
name on the gate of the mansion. It was badass.
Yeah, the Halloween I Spy was the coolest one.
That was the coolest one. I liked some of the. There was one where it was just like huge. I forgot what they're called.
We always got those I Spy games from the library.
Oh hell yeah! They had like these. Fuck, what the dioramas, and you were I Spy in a diorama of like a mountain scene or a miniature city,
And it's
or
all
a
made with
train.
like toys and shit.
Yeah,
Super cool.
fucking
Yeah,
cool.
toys and garbage.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why it's so cheap.
That's why it's so good for the poor.
I'm pretty sure they
like
made
us.
those books in the back of a Goodwill.
Yeah, they just 100%. Yeah, it had the fluorescent lights.
There's definitely a butt plug somewhere in one of those books.
I'm sure. They called it a
That's
Christmas ornament.
the thing to spy. That's the thing to find.
That's the under the under the level.
Yeah.
I Spy.
That's the if you know you
that's
know.
the secret game. Yeah.
Yeah. Find the butt plug. Find the sex toy in the I Spy games. In the I Spy books. Those books were cool as hell.
Those are cool. So also when we were setting up to record, I said to D, "Hey, do you want to get the little icon, the show art before or after?" And he just says, "Get a picture. Type in painting." And I knew exactly what it was. Didn't even have to type it in. I know exactly what this episode is about.
Okay.
So let's get into it because I'm ready. I've been blue balling for this episode.
Fuck my week, but yeah, let's get into it.
You literally just told me you did nothing this weekend to not talk about it.
I instead of only taking one day off of work, I took 2 days off of work.
Nice.
It's a dog down here.
Yeah, we got a special guest in the studio.
Uh-oh. But yeah, it's... Here, let me go. I'll go pick her up. Fill the time.
Okay, so since you're just talking to me, let's talk about Mad God. It's weird as shit. It's totally worth it. Like, it's on Shudder. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm sure you can find it for free on the internet. If you like weird artsy-fartsy shit, please. You'll like it. It's about hell. That's all I got, really. Are you back? Please, I can't fill time.
Yeah, I'm here.
I can't small talk. You got the co-host?
Yeah, I got the co-host is here.
Nice.
She's going to be bumping into this a bunch.
That's okay.
So, let me get my shit all worked back out. Okay.
That's okay. There was it sounded weird.
Yeah, I took my headset off and turned off the
active noise canceling, and it makes it sound weird on my side. I was like, why do I sound like I'm underwater now?
Strange as hell. Okay, so Isabella Stewart Gardner's father
Who's Isabella Stewart?
I'll get to it. He passed away in 1891, and Isabella came into a fucking shitload of cash, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Rich daddy?
So, yeah, she basically was just like daughter of a rich man before that. Once she got all of his money, she literally became a philanthropist with the amount of cash that she came upon.
Hell yeah. That's the way to do it.
So, as soon as Dad died, she gets all this money, and she reaches out to a guy named Bernard Berenson, and she begins collecting art. Because when you're rich as fuck and you don't know what to do with money,
you got art.
Why not just get a fucking mass of
paintings?
What's it called? What's assets? Literally, what you can use as wealth. It's insane.
Things
and
that
disgusting.
hold and maintain wealth. Yeah,
and grow. Like, it's such a stupid fucking investment, but it's worthwhile if you can afford a $10 million fucking painting.
If you can afford a $10 million painting, there's a really good chance that it will be worth $10 million plus inflation, plus a little bit more.
It like doubles in 10 years. It is insane.
Stupid.
So, she's between 1890 and 1900. There's a lot of death in Isabella's life.
She's murdering off her family one by one to get their money.
So before her husband's death in 1898, they acquired over 70 pieces of art. So in 7 years, she's just picking shit up like crazy. He probably died of a stroke due to the amount of money that she was fucking spending.
Did she say why?
Why he died?
No, why...
She decided to start
collecting art.
It was just one of the things that she liked.
Just like
she's
well,
this
I guess
fucking,
I'm rich, so let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, her dad's always been fucking rich. She grows up in a rich household. It's the late 1800s.
Oh yeah, I guess you can't just like
the art world is fucking booming.
Well,
like,
if you think about it, like nowadays we have instant access to unlimited artists' pieces on our phones.
Yeah.
So back then, that's much more of a rarity to actually see cool shit.
And I mean, on top of that, you're able to like move art between and overseas and go see museums overseas a hell of a lot easier in the late 1800s than you were in like 1850 because of the invention of steam-powered fucking like boats, steamboats and shit. You're able to get overseas a hell of a lot faster. Mm-hmm. They have these huge ass ships that can accommodate your stay.
Unsinkable ships.
Yeah, and you're not, unfortunately, as awful as it sounds, riding a slave ship over to the UK. Like, it's fucked. But that, I mean, it's the turn of the century, man.
Now.
It's taking off, and rich people are like, "Oh, this is my shit." So, yeah, she gets 70 pieces of art over 7 years. Her husband dies, but he was also like really cool with art. So after his death, she reaches out to, I think she works in tandem with Bernard and one other guy in Boston, and they build an art museum, what her and her husband always wanted to do. So they build this art museum, and it takes like 3 years to build it. And it opens in 1903. So 2 years after it's done being built, they keep buying fucking art for 2 more years. And they curate this whole place to look as perfect and pristine as Isabella wants it. Like, she designs how all the art is put up, and she like she just does everything that she
And
wants with the
crafted.
place. Yeah, it's just
So you don't get that anymore now.
Right.
I fucking hate that phrase.
God. So, yeah, they put all this shit up, and in 1903, they open their doors, and they have the Boston Symphony performing while people are, like, basically
Damn.
partying at the opening. They're serving donuts and champagne.
That's classy as fuck.
Like, what a fucking combination.
I want that.
Yeah.
That appeals to my
I
sensibilities.
like to think that the
As
donut
a-
holes were big enough and the champagne glasses were thin enough that you could just thump.
Yeah, you stack
Yeah,
them. And then
it
you
was
eat
it was
off,
just
yeah.
it was the times, man.
Well, they had to fit the donuts to fit the dick.
yeah,
yeah.
thump, thump, thump.
But yeah, that really, as a lower middle class white male, that really appeals to my fantasy.
I'm like donuts,
Donuts and
Hell yeah.
champagne.
But I also think donuts at that time were like this new thing. It's like
Oh, it's the French food.
yeah,
Oh,
it's basically like
fancy
what
shit.
cupcakes are now for rich people. Rich people are like,
Oh yeah, they get
oh,
boners over fancy cupcakes.
big cookies, like cookies. Who gives a fuck? I think that's kind of what it was.
Now they're getting into things that look like they're not cakes, but they are cakes.
Yeah, right. They're like, I would like a human man that moves, but half of him is cake and the other half is flesh.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
weird. I want a man who's amputated from the waist down, but I want you to make legs out of cake for him. It's weird.
Perfect.
But yeah, I think donuts were one of those like, oh, look at this new fun food, pinky out kind of bullshit.
Ah.
Oh, it's not a bagel, it's sweet. It goes with fucking champagne. Fuck them. I don't care.
Yeah,
So-
they're still rich bitches.
Yeah. So the next 19 years, this place is fucking popping. They're throwing parties all the time. I mean, everyone, this is like getting into the roaring 20s. Yeah, it's during fucking World War One, but this
Yeah.
is the northeastern U.S. during World
yeah, they
War
don't
One.
give a
They don't give a
shit.
fuck. This is like the rich people of. These are people who have 70 pieces of fucking art up in a museum that they built for their own art
Yeah.
that they charge people to come in and see.
The entire structure is masturbatory.
Yeah, this is Their World War One didn't affect these people.
Yeah, not.
So in 1924, Isabella dies, and I know it's quick. Boom, she's dead. Boom, boom.
24?
Yeah, 1924, she dies.
Okay, so she got to live through the Spanish flu,
Mm-hmm.
but not see alcohol be legalized again. Oh, that's so
Exactly.
sad.
Nah, fuck her.
I mean,
So,
yeah, she's a rich bitch. She probably
oh.
she was drinking the whole time.
Just wait, you're gonna love this bitch. So in 1924, she
After
dies.
she's dead?
Her
Okay.
her dying will leaves $1 million to the museum. So in the 1920s, I think that comes out to like, I think they did the conversion and it was like $3 million in 1990. So probably $12 million now.
Yeah. Compared to 2 years ago and now, yeah.
Now I think it's around like $5 to $8 million now.
It's not bad.
So she leaves a lot of money for this museum, and she requires that her collection be permanently exhibited, and I quote, "for the education and enjoyment of the public forever."
Of the public, but
Yeah.
you charge to
Yeah,
go
you
in
gotta
there.
charge to get in.
So it's not really
However-
for the public, it's for people who can afford it.
Here's the big. It's not even fine print. It
It's
is
bigger.
It
says
bigger print.
PS and it's bigger print.
Yeah, and it says the will outlines that the final design, layout, aesthetic vision, and intent remain the same forever. So
I actually love that. That's
Yeah.
badass.
you love it until you realize that this museum cannot purchase more art. They cannot sell any art. They cannot redecorate anything.
Well,
Nothing
if
can
they
be
can
changed.
redecorate,
No.
if
No.
yeah, you can preserve the same aesthetic while updating it.
Not in this will. It's the same design, layout, aesthetic vision, and intent.
Yeah,
you
that
can't,
sounds great.
You can't change anything and be like, oh, this was her vision, because she's fucking dead.
Nah, you
Nothing can change.
You can change. You can throw away the doilies.
Yeah,
Nobody
right?
gives a shit
I
about
wish.
doilies.
I wish. But
No,
these
I-
are all
I
other
actually
fucking directors.
Love that. I love buildings that are time capsules.
This one is a fucking rich piece of shit time capsule. Fuck them.
Well, yeah, but it still looks cool.
Fuck that. I doubt it. Like, I don't think that it would look cool. I think it'd just look really fucking like 1900s rich scummy.
Yeah, which looks super fucking cool.
I'm not feeling it.
I feel it.
So
Are you
she's
feeling
got
it
no. So this whole place is basically untouchable.
Which
with the
includes security
directors.
systems, I assume.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. So in 1982, the FBI gets word that there is a planned heist.
Wait, what year?
1982.
Okay, so this thing's been the exact same for 60 years
Yeah,
now.
at this point, yeah.
Well,
60
since her
years.
death-ish.
Yeah, so 58 years, yeah.
Okay. It's
So
fantastic.
there's a planned heist on this place, which is now worth $600 million in art. Yeah. So fuck them. I don't give a shit what your vision is. $600 million in art is fucking disgusting. It should all just burn anyway.
Digitize it, then burn it.
Yeah, fuck them, dude. $600 million in art. Get the fuck out of here. I hate how pretentious the art community is, which is why I'm like, fuck that whole design shit. Because because this place has been around for so long and because nothing can change about it, they are constantly losing more and more patrons. People aren't coming
Well, yeah.
in.
Why would you want to go there every weekend if,
Yeah.
like, the
Like-
bitch who was throwing the party and giving you donuts on your dong is dead? Like, why would you go
Well, on
back?
top of that, nothing's new.
Yeah, exactly.
You go, you can't see any new fucking artwork.
She was the only
because
change.
she's a pretentious bitch that's like, you're not putting fucking artwork up in my fucking coffin.
Despite the
basically.
fact that I'm dead.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
I love it.
And so now it's a time capsule that's just swallowing fucking money. Like,
hey, that's fine. It's not my money.
right? So they are struggling money-wise. And when the FBI approaches them and says, hey, there's a planned heist, they look around and they're like, we basically only have security guards. And at that, security is paid minimum wage. That's how fucking bad everything is for this.
Ooh.
Because legally, they can't change anything. So, yeah,
That's
like
real bad.
it wouldn't be so bad if it was just like she basically wrote a letter and was like, hey, this. But the fact that she has it fucking notarized in her will and is like, my aesthetic vision can't change. Fuck you, Isabella, you stupid
love
bitch.
it. I love it. The fucking
it's
turn of the
so
century
fucking petty.
breeded the most pretentious fucking bitches. I love it.
It's just such a cunty little thing to do, to say my vision is going to be profitable forever. Like,
Not even that, but it's just completely discounting the fact they're living at the turn of the century through the Industrial Revolution. To not say, oh, things are going to change,
Yeah.
technology is going to expand. Like, are they?
It's so fucking
stupid. Like,
self-centered.
yeah, you have to
I
use
hate it.
original Edison bulbs.
Yeah.
and your electricity bill
It is-
going to be
it's
fucking immense.
stupid. So-
if the boiler blows up, just weld it back together.
just breathe on it heavily.
It's so like
It's just
nowadays
unrealistic.
there's so many like when people are trying to build houses or businesses and things, they're trying to future-proof it because technology changes. You need to be able to build a structure that can adapt to that change. So a lot of buildings have easily accessible like wiring systems. If they have a smart home system, it's very accessible because shit's gonna change.
Yeah. It's just, for me, it's like, it wouldn't be so bad if she had just said, hey, the one floor that is my favorite floor, leave it.
Or
And
like, yeah,
I'll
this
design,
wing, call
like,
it the Isabella wing.
In her later years, she's, the Isabella wing, and she puts all of her art in there, designs how she wants to do all of it. And then, you can display the pieces that don't fit in on other
Yeah.
levels, and you can bring in other artists that are featured by the fucking Gardner Museum in Boston, which would be phenomenal for an artist. It would knock people's socks off if this place that is worth $600 million in art pieces says, hey, we want to put your stuff up on our top floor.
Well, here's the thing.
It would be great.
She just didn't want them to have to pay for a curator
she
because
was
she
just
was the curator.
Yeah, right?
She's like, my fucking
She's like,
museum
this
is
is-
not going to be curated by anyone but me, bitch.
Right?
So, I guess they save money that way.
Yeah,
you don't need a
right.
curator if you're not buying and selling art.
God, no kidding. So the FBI is like, you guys got to do something because
We're not going to help.
like you're being targeted. So the other so they take a look at their security protocols
They're like,
But
what are security
can't-
protocols?
Here's the other thing. They can't afford insurance right now.
On all of those paintings? Oh, shit.
This is how bad that museum was failing. Is because they can't afford insurance on their $600 million worth of paintings, because guess who wasn't smart enough to take that into account in
Isabella,
1924?
bitch.
So all they can afford, and this is disgusting. When you hear it, you're like, bruh. $600 million is being protected by 60 infrared sensors. So basically what turns on lights in all offices now. And a couple of CCTV cameras outside on the perimeter. There are no cameras inside.
Yeah, because they can't change it.
They can't. Well, I mean, they can put them in, but we worry that it might affect like the climate control systems that we have inside right now.
Which are probably the original.
Right, really, though.
The climate control system is one dude with an ice box and a little fire and a fan.
And so implementing that and then changing their systems is just impossible to afford right now.
Well, yeah, like if I were this if I was in charge of this museum, or I guess like a museum now, this gallery, and I was like, okay, we're going to be robbed, I would say, oh, yeah, I'm not going to change anything because we got insurance.
Not my problem.
Doesn't matter.
You don't
to me.
have insurance. Yeah.
But if they don't have insurance,
they can't even afford their fucking
they
insurance.
can't get they're paying security guards minimum wage in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. Which,
like,
as far as I understand, it was like right around $3 an hour. And this is in Boston, so maybe it was like $5.
Damn.
Because it was a bigger city. Yeah. Fucked. And
yeah, no, and the CCTV is only on the outside.
Yeah, it was even, and it's two cameras on the outside is all they're able to afford.
Just two?
I'm not even kidding. So it was
I would
even
start
proposed.
Putting up, fish wire.
Yeah, it was even
trip
proposed to pay the security team more and to make that a priority, because anything higher than minimum wage is going to draw in people with better experience at security. And they're like, we can't do that. And it was just out of the question. And this is in 1986 when that idea was proposed, 4 years after the FBI came to him. They've been trying. No, the FBI came to him in 1982.
Oh, I thought you said 84. My bad.
And so they can't even, like, over 4 years, they're like, we can't really fucking afford to change our security.
Well, they were probably in a worse place by then.
Yeah, seriously. So, in 1990, St. Patrick's Day, and Rick Abbott and Randy Heston, and Randy Heston, they're both in their early 20s, and they're starting their night shifts. Rick, I think, is like 23, and Randy's 25.
As a security guard?
As security guards. Okay. This, tonight, is Rick's first night on the night shift.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? So, when they would do their rounds, they'd basically just walk around with a flashlight and take a look to make sure nobody's in there. They would push the doors to make sure that they didn't open, and they would basically activate all of the infrared sensors to make sure that all of them are working. For some reason, Rick decided tonight was a grand idea to, instead of just pushing on the door, which wasn't even standard, he opens the side door, looks outside, closes the side door, and he's like, okay, cool, it's locked. Totally not normal thing for any of the security guards to do.
Okay, so yeah, I know why it's his first night.
Yeah, right? So around 12:30 a.m., after all this is going on, 12:30 a.m., a car with 2 police officers pulls up outside, and it's about 100 feet from the entrance to the museum. The fire alarm has gone off previously, and Rick went and fucking deactivated it, probably because he pushed the fucking door open after hours.
It was a fire escape door.
But it's kind of standard for all of the police to be really tense on St. Patrick's Day in Boston. This is a big fucking holiday Yeah, I know. These are so bad.
They taste like Alka-Seltzer, but worse.
God. So an hour later...
They're salty.
Yeah, they're disgusting. An hour later, the car with the two officers pulls to the side door of the museum. The officers get out, and they just start banging on the door, saying they received reports of a disturbance. Which makes sense. The fire alarm has gone off. It's St. Patrick's Day. There's probably somebody fucking around out there. And so Rick and Randy buzz them in. Officers come inside, and they, like, just like another fucking night. These officers come in. They're like, hey, heard about a disturbance. What the fuck's going on? Did you guys, like, is there anything going on over here? And they're like, no, nothing. Like, we set off the fire alarm by accident. Sorry about that. We didn't see any fires or anything, though. That was our bad. And one of the officers turns to Rick, and he says, you look familiar.
Ooh.
And Rick goes, excuse me? And he says, there's a warrant out for your arrest, isn't there? And Rick's like, wow, what? No.
Oh, shit.
So the officer comes over, turns Rick around, puts him up against the wall, handcuffs him.
Puts him right into a painting.
Puts him face first through a painting, a $10 million painting.
Yeah.
Puts him up against the wall, handcuffs him, and Randy notes, Randy notes, that Rick was never frisked, and that one of the officers' mustaches looked really weird.
Oh, shit.
And
I knew it.
When he brings it up, he gets handcuffed too. And they're both put up against the wall, face first into the wall.
Says, hey, why didn't you frisk that guy?
Pretty much.
What's up with your mustache, bro? And then he gets handcuffed?
And then he gets handcuffed. Yeah, you don't fuck with a cop's mustache, apparently.
No, apparently.
They're mad because they weren't around in 1903 to receive donuts,
and
which is the most fucking Boston thing in the world, is that they're like, yo, you know what we should do for the fucking opening? We should have champagne because it's fancy, and we'll order some Dunkin' Donuts from down the fucking street.
Dunkin'.
Like,
hey, we're walking here.
It's just such a Boston fucking thing. So,
Jesus.
He gets cuffed too. Rick and Randy are in a bad spot.
Wait, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Hold on. I just need to think this out. So, police are public servants. They operate on public property, and they are allowed to enforce laws on private property if they have to, essentially. If you are, in distress or danger or anything like that, then they can enter your home. Otherwise, they need permission. This is a private property building.
They buzz them in. The guys banged on the cops banged on the door.
Still doesn't mean that they can just arrest them.
I know.
Or handcuff them as, yeah, I know what's going on with them. But as cops,
yeah,
the warrant thing, yeah, they can do that because they're like, we need to check this out. But him just saying, what's going on here?
Hey, what's up with your mustache?
There's something going wrong.
Click. Now Randy's under arrest too.
There might be something.
Yeah, something's not sitting right.
Not right with these two alleged officers.
Mm-hmm. Especially because Rick is like, why the fuck would I have a warrant out for my arrest? So, with their faces to the wall, their hands cuffed behind their backs, they're suddenly told what's about to happen.
Bullet to the back of the head.
Nope.
Cold barrel.
No
steel.
guns come out. They're told that they're going to be tied up and that the men are going to take as much artwork as possible. And
Hell yeah.
They say, we know where you guys live. And if you stay silent about this ordeal for a year, we'll reward you with the money that we make from these paintings.
How are they supposed to stay quiet for a year?
I know.
Wouldn't people notice? Oh, I spent $10 to get in here 2 weeks ago.
This is coming from a guy who has a fucking piss poor mustache.
I guess this is from
with
somebody
his
who
cop
fucked
outfit.
up their mustache.
Like, come on. So yeah, they say you'll receive a reward.
All right. Hey, they could just uncuff me. I'll help them.
So they put duct tape over their fucking eyes.
How?
Like, they basically put duct tape over their whole fucking face. There's a picture of Rick, who he has this big beard and he's got long curly hair. Doesn't look like a security guard. It's hilarious. And he's just got duct tape around his head, like from here, just above his eyebrows, pretty much down to like his mouth. He's duct taped up.
How are they supposed to stay quiet about that when they are found duct taped.
Yeah, I know, right?
What
Because
the
maybe
fuck?
they'll let them out. Maybe they'll fucking cut
Yeah,
it
but I
off
know
as
they
they
didn't.
leave. Yeah, I don't know. So,
Maybe
well,
they forgot
I
to.
know.
They,
You don't.
They sat. They're driving away after this, and then one of them
like, oh,
sits upright. And,
shit.
shit, we forgot to untie him.
We left him in the fucking utility closet.
Fuck.
So, yeah, they put him in the utility room, and they basically tie him, chain him up to the radiator, and they get to work. The first piece of art that they go to, there's a little device that's there. That probably cost millions of fucking dollars in like the 70s. That if you start to get too close to the painting, that like your breath might give too much humidity and melt the paint off of it, it starts beeping. And so they walk up to this painting and the device is like beep, 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 beep. And these guys just fucking smash the shit out of it.
The device?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so, like, these dudes aren't really professionals at this point.
No, not at all.
Like,
I mean, it's taken them, 8 years to plan this? Like,
right?
I could probably come up with this on a drunken weekend.
For real. So the device in front of the paintings, useless. Like, they just fucking destroy this thing. And they take paintings. And mind you, I don't like the pretentious art world, but I do respect art.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. These guys are taking, like, these big paintings off the walls and, like, we can't fit these fucking frames in our back seat. So they throw them on the floor.
To shatter the
To break
frames.
the frame. It doesn't work.
No, they're fucking strong.
And so these paintings just land on the floor, pum, pum, pum. And they're like, okay, never mind. We got this.
We'll just cut it out of the frame with
That's
a
exactly
razor.
what they do.
I fucking knew it.
They
knew
cut
it.
along the edge. They cut the paintings out. They leave the frames there. The frames aren't even really all that busted up or anything.
Oh, but that's destroying.
It's because
Oh,
imagine
my God.
trying to take away all the fucking, like, what is it that they have? Like the wiring to hold the painting taut behind the frame. Like, these guys are idiots. That would take for fucking ever. So
Yeah, no.
instead of turning it around and cutting those fucking wires, they just have the frame facing them and
I swear I've seen that in a movie. Or
and just
something.
fucking roll them up. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
and they
sure.
roll it
I'm
up.
pretty sure they have it in a few different movies.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's what Nick Cage did with the Declaration of Independence.
It's out right now.
Yeah, he cut it out of the frame.
God. So, yeah, they're rolling them up and they're just fucking tossing them off to the side, painting after painting after painting. They try taking one. They take it off the wall. They're like, hey, cool, we'll cut out its frame. The painting was on wood. And so they basically are like,
Why is it
okay.
on printer paper?
So instead of putting it back up on the wall, they take it to the security office, like the security lead's office, the security director's office, and just lean it up against the fucking table.
Incognito. They're really incognito.
They attempt to take a Napoleonic flag, which kind of looks pretty sick. And they're like unscrewing it from its little frame and like setup.
Let me guess. And then one of them trips off the ladder and tears it off the
No, they get halfway through, or not even halfway through. They take a bunch of the screws out and they're like, this shit is taking way too fucking long. So they look at it and they're like, there's a golden eagle, what are they fucking called? I have it in here. They take the finial at the top of the flagpole, like the little golden eagle like symbol or whatever the fuck, finial. They just take that off and they're like, we'll take this.
Yeah, this will work.
That's fine.
Oh my God. Is this Moe and Curly like
pretty
trying to
much.
pay bail for the third guy?
Yeah. So they also go into what's called the Blue Room, and they stole an additional piece, but the museum detectors didn't pick anything up. The last recorded entry into that room is from Rick that night during his walkthroughs. Yeah, which really confused the FBI when they came in with questions. So, they check on the guards before they leave. They don't fucking untie them. They just leave them tied up. They're like, whatever. Like, we've left paintings all over the place. Who gives a shit? We've looted this place. Do you want a breakdown of everything that they took?
I do.
Okay, give me a second.
If you have it.
Yeah. So these guys take just a bunch of haphazard shit. Like, the thing is...
Yeah, I feel like for 8 years of planning, there wasn't very much planning.
No. There wasn't. And on top of that, like, they didn't really take, like, the most expensive things. And a lot of people, for a long time, thought that the things that were taken were really specific for a reason. I don't think that's the case.
Like a conspiracy
I think it was,
theory? Like they're like,
it was
this for this
the
reason.
idea is that, like, yeah, there's some guy that wants Isabella's art, and he's willing to pay top fucking dollar for it. And so he hires these two guys that are art geniuses, and they go out and get exactly the pieces that he wants. The pieces that they stole were the Concert by Vermeer, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee by Rembrandt, A Lady and a Gentleman in Black by Rembrandt,
Damn.
Landscape with Obelisk by Flink, Chez Tortoni by Monet, a self-portrait by Rembrandt, which...
Damn, that's some big names.
Yeah, the one that they were trying to take was a self-portrait by Rembrandt that was on wood, and that didn't work, so they grabbed the smaller self-portrait that's literally like, they say that it is post like fucking...
Post-it note size?
Not post-it note size, like
a...
postmark size. Like, it is...
Oh, shit.
It is less than a square foot size.
Damn.
This shit is tiny.
Yeah,
it's like
I would have grabbed that one.
It's basically like a 3x3 self-portrait, and it's done in pencil. It's actually really immaculate when you think about it, but...
Until it was cut out of its frame.
Yeah, right. I mean,
dropped on the floor.
This thing's tiny, so they just fucking put it in their pocket.
They accidentally used it as toilet paper.
Someone
ate it. There's a bite out of it for some reason.
He just held it in his mouth. So, La Sortie de Passage by Degas. There are like 1, 2, 3, 4 other drawings by Degas. An ancient Chinese gu, which is it's like a little vase that's bigger at the top than it is at the bottom. And the French Imperial Eagle finial. These are the items that are taken. And like I said, they fucking check on the guards and get out of there, but not before they take all of the security tapes.
Okay,
which was 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And they actually take the data printouts for the motion detecting equipment, which is kind of clever.
This is mostly pre-digital shit.
Yeah, this is all 1990.
Everything's hard data, so you can just take that shit.
That's
true. Awesome.
Or at least you would think that it's all hard data, except for the fact that all the motion stuff is captured on a hard drive.
Nice, even better.
Yeah, so they completely ignore that. So all of the information is kept on this fucking hard drive. And that's how they found out that Rick was the last recorded in the Blue Room, which is why they're getting all of this activity all across the rest of the area. But something stolen from the Blue Room, and Rick was the last one in there. So they're like, the fuck's going on here, bucko?
Oh, and it was his first night. Is it 2 heists that happen at once that they didn't even plan?
I don't know. Well, you'll have to stick around to find out.
I'll have to stick around to find out. That's the worst. I love that.
Right.
Okay, but I do... Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, you were setting up the scene, rich bitch. I did not think we would get, like, household name artists in this. Like... God damn.
Literally, the paintings at the time, in 81 minutes, they took over $200 million worth of artwork. They took a third of this place's, like,
they would have taken
value.
more if they weren't on wood.
Yeah, seriously.
Or, like, take too long to unscrew.
Yeah, if both of them weren't fucking drunk, right?
Yeah.
So the next shift arrives, and nobody's buzzing them in. These next guys show up, and they're like, all right, let's do this.
They're tied up.
Why isn't night shift buzzing us in? What the fuck's going on? So they call the security director, who wakes up and he's like, what the fuck's going on? They're like, they're not buzzing us in. Nobody's here. And he's like, what the fuck? These minimum wage shithead employees.
You paid them, bitch.
Yeah, goes over and unlocks the door.
Minimum wage, minimum work.
Yeah, right? He goes into the security office and he sees this huge fucking painting in his office. It's been his office has been newly decorated.
Damn.
With millions of dollars of artwork. It's great. And he finds the 2 security guards in the basement who have at this point been tied up and they've had duct tape over their eyes for like 5 hours in the basement. That shit sucks.
Yeah, that fucking blows.
Yeah. So, they find Rick and Randy just
chilling,
just in misery,
playing
just
20 questions,
just hanging out, sweating out their fucking eyeballs. And they find them tied up in the basement, and they fucking call the police. So
the very people who perpetrated this.
No, how dare they? So, since Isabella requested that nothing be moved, like, yeah, it's a crime scene and everything, but after they picked after I think their statute of limitations was 4 years on this, or 5 years on this, so in 1995 nobody could actually be charged for the fucking theft of these. I shit you
That's
not.
how short it is? Okay, we need to find the fucking museum. Is this museum still around? Is it still only have 2 CCTV
So
cameras?
after the FBI had fucking just combed over the area, now if you go to the Gardner Museum in Boston, which I'm actually considering it now because
you're going.
This is the funniest fucking fact that I've ever read, and it was what drew me to looking into this. Because Isabella's vision was to keep everything the way that it was, the paintings that were stolen, they put the frames back up, and it's just the fucking wall behind the frames. So when you're walking around this place, there are 13 fucking paintings that are just missing a painting. It's just a frame around the
rather
fucking
than just
back wall.
Getting a print. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
I know. It's so fucking stupid. I'm like,
the
if
director of that gallery that's a middle finger to Isabella.
If this place costs like $2.50 to get into, I will go
take pictures,
and I will fucking tell everybody how stupid this place looks.
Live stream it on our Instagram.
When I was reading about it, there were people on Reddit that were like, "Oh my god, it's just like so crazy to see," and I'm like, "That sounds fucking stupid,
boring as hell."
I would laugh if I fucking walked in there and I was like, why isn't there a painting on this wall?
I'm telling you right now, take it out of the Pressure Points budget.
God, dude, yeah.
If you have the time and you're in the area, take it out of the Pressure Points budget.
I will be in the area.
And I need you to live stream it to the Instagram.
We'll see if I fucking can.
Or take some pictures or something,
Okay.
Videotape.
So, I'll put a Pressure Point sticker
on the bar.
Right where it used to be. On every single one of them, those little Halloween stickers that I made,
13.
I'll just fucking throw one of those up. Speaking of which, if you are interested in a in a Pressure Point sticker that is Halloween themed, let us know. I'll post the images for them this week. If you want a PowerPoint sticker,
that's what PB stands for. It's all been a sham.
Right. So
we are Microsoft.
So yeah, this place looks fucking stupid as shit, just with like empty frames hanging on the walls now. Like I don't think that this is Isabella's original vision.
Yeah, no.
Fuckos.
I didn't. So no leads, no.
So the FBI is really confused as to why most of the art isn't taken, as it would be more valuable than what was taken. And this is where those conspiracies start coming in. Like who's an art collector
who wanted those?
Who would want those? So instead of thinking these guys are fucking idiots, the FBI is like, I think we're dealing with somebody that has a specific taste in like stealing art. So they start looking into specific art thieves. And this has opened many a door for me, because now I have names of many different art thieves. So expect future art heists in the future.
Hell yeah.
So Rick is investigated not because he was an art thief, but because of his side door check. Because when they talk to Randy mentions that Rick does this side door check, and he even says if that was a regular thing during like his day shift, the security director would have gotten up his ass about it and told him that needs to stop. You don't open the side door. And the FBI goes, was that a signal?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's his first night. He opened the door. No, he was either making sure it's unlocked or it's a signal to go. Like, we're doing our sweep now. Come in an hour, or
yeah,
like 100%.
Exactly.
That was him checking to see if the cop car was parked in the alley.
Yeah. So Randy Randy points this out and just throws Rick under the bus. He's like, there's a
Nice.
fucking warrant out for his arrest. Like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Was there a warrant for his
no,
arrest? Damn
no.
it. That would have been better if
I
they were
wish.
just like,
They're like,
they
oh,
were,
shit.
It was a good instinct.
Everything points at fucking Rick.
No, they were actual cops dressed up like fake cops.
No, it's way fucking better than what you think.
No, it's a Japanese guy dressed up like a cop, right?
Yeah, yeah.
From the previous heist. This is
from,
the continuation.
From the Patreon heist that I talked about.
Oh, was that Patreon? Oh, yeah.
So if you're curious on another heist story, go check that episode out.
Every
on
episode's a heist
Patreon.
episode on Patreon.
We will be releasing the next one within the next week because
within this
September
next
is
week.
going to be ending soon.
Yes.
It'll be our third exclusive episode. So if you want 3 episodes, subscribe on Patreon.
Full length, by
Full
the
length.
way.
Okay, so Rick and Randy both get investigated because it's the FBI.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 guys there.
It's pretty obvious.
There's something
They're
going
gonna
on.
be investigated too. Like, yeah.
The FBI ultimately determines that both members of the security team on that night shift are too incompetent to have done this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Can you imagine being
Hell
told by
yeah.
the FBI, you're like,
You're too stupid
oh,
to have
fuck, we're
done
being
this."
investigated. Like, it's one thing to say you're being investigated. That's stressful. But then imagine they come back and they're like, no, these guys didn't do it. And you're like, oh, thank God I've been
What
cleared.
cleared me? Yeah.
And you're like reading the article. You're like, oh, hell yeah. Like, this is big news and shit. You read the article about you being cleared, and it says the FBI ultimately determined that both members of security were too incompetent. And it's like, fuck. I wish that I had just been arrested for this.
Yeah, I was gonna clip this out and bring it to the bar to get some pussy.
Oh, nope.
No,
You
not
dumb as
anymore.
hell, bro.
Just cut off that bottom part.
Oh, Jesus.
That's fantastic.
So
they were both too stupid to have been.
yeah, way too dumb. So the museum comes out, and the FBI at this point has no fucking leads.
Well, didn't they have a lead 8 years ago? Like,
yeah, but they're working on looking into it.
well,
Because
I mean, they
I'll
have
get into it.
something.
I'll get into
Okay.
it. So the museum comes out and they're like, the FBI hasn't caught anybody. It's been 3 days. If you have any information leading to the return of this art, we will pay you $1 million.
Damn.
We will fucking sell the signed copy that we will sell Isabella's will and give you $1 million. So everyone is hyped the fuck up about this. Everyone's like, I need info.
Yeah, I would start prowling the streets.
Yeah.
I would become a night crawler.
So in 1994, a letter is sent to the director of the hotel, Ann Hawley, and it says they're willing to negotiate terms to return the artwork, but it requires immunity for everyone that's involved.
Who said this?
This is an anonymous letter that's been sent.
Oh.
And it details.
So they couldn't sell it. They got the art and were like,
Right.
fuck, what do we do now?
So the details that they include in this letter are so specific to the case itself that weren't put in the press, like the names of the artwork that was taken, what time they showed up, how Rick and Randy were fucking duct tape over their eyes rather than just their fucking mouths.
Even though they had already seen them.
Super specific details.
Okay, so somebody wants immunity.
So Anne gets this and she's like, okay, this is fucking crazy. And the letter even says the art is being kept in a climate controlled condition right now.
It's a trunk of a car.
Yeah, right. It's
They have the AC on sometimes.
right. It's in a fucking toilet. It's in a fucking, like, all they did was they bought a Walmart frame and put it in there. They're like, climate controlled. So they request the letter requests that a coded article in the Boston Herald or Boston Globe, I forget, be released within the next couple of days as a response. And then she does it. So Anne puts this coded response together. They put it in the
Is Anne working with the cops
newspaper.
now?
Yeah, she's working with the FBI a little bit because she's like, holy shit, we have news. And the FBI's like, oh, you have news, do you? So a few days later, after the article, like 3 days go by, and another letter is received. And it says, I can't help anymore. This is way too large of an investigation by the feds, and I need time to evaluate my options. Because originally it was like, oh yeah, I'll be immune, but not when fucking $200 million worth of art is stolen and the FBI has been looking into things since 8 years before this even happened.
Okay, so this is telling me that no, they did not get specific pieces of art for a specific collectors.
They did not.
They did not know. They just know
did not.
art valuable.
Yeah.
Art worth money. Go get money.
Art worth much money.
Yeah.
Take
Take
and put in trunk of car.
Yeah. Climate control.
Cut out of frame.
Yeah. Climate control. Point fan at painting and spritz water.
Just don't breathe on it. So she gets this letter that they're like, okay, actually, now that we've seen that the feds are looking into things,
Never mind.
I've got to evaluate my options. So Anne's like, I don't know how to send out a response, but it says like, I'll get back to you with my decision. Anne never hears back from anyone ever again.
Damn.
Which, like, imagine you're that close. You're that fucking close to getting it all back. All the stuff that wasn't insured.
Damn the pre-9/11 U.S. Postal Service.
Pre-9/11 FBI. Son of a bitch. So, they reach out to an art thief. Where the fuck? Sorry, my stuff is super out of order.
My notes do that sometimes. That's a pain in the ass. I'll fill dead space.
Yeah, you should.
So they're idiots who don't know the value of the paintings that they've stolen, or they've stolen such specific pieces that they know they can get money for, but later on they send a letter and say, no, we'll return it for immunity. So, which either the deal fell through or they did not have a dealer lined up already. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and then people don't think that, okay, well, if you suddenly make $2 million, the IRS is going to know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even if it's all cash, the IRS is going to say...
They're going to see money moving from somewhere to somewhere.
They're going to, like, even if you pay in just cash, they're going to see assets. They're going to be, okay, how the fuck did you get this new sports car? How did you pay cash?
And these guys aren't smart enough to avoid that.
Yeah. How did you pay cash for a house that, $1 million house?
Here's the thing, though. This is 1990s Boston. And last week, we talked about mobsters and gangsters and how prevalent they are in the Northeast areas.
Yeah.
Money being moved around like that much.
You have to, in that area, I learned about this because money laundering is very interesting to me. Not because I would ever do it, but I just think it's really interesting. To launder that amount of money, you would have had to have like mob or mafia connections because they controlled the money laundering schemes. You could go to them and say, hey, I need to disappear $200 million.
Yeah.
And they'd say, okay, we'll give you back 180.
Yeah, I mean, they'll
Bam.
clean your money. So because the mob is so fucking prevalent, like this is Whitey Bulger time. Like this is during Whitey Bulger. I know you don't know like Boston Mafia shit. He is huge.
This is
for the fucking 90s.
If you remember my episode, this is a year or two before they used the RICO Act to start bringing them down.
Yeah.
So this is like not quite peak, but still very, very, very powerful.
this is big shit.
Especially in Boston.
Whitey Bulger is like the dawn of like the Boston mob.
Damn.
He is huge. And he comes out and he says, this was stolen on my turf.
Oh, shit.
So he says...
Oh, shit, I didn't even think about that.
So
you can't do that shit.
He says,
Ooh.
I'm doing my own investigation. And the FBI is like, no, you're not. And he says, yeah, because I need tribute paid to me.
Yeah, if
$200 million is stole off of his turf, yeah, somebody's going to fucking pay him.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. That makes so much sense.
Dude.
Like, ooh.
So...
Because he could have taken all of that at any point.
Yeah.
Like,
so in 1982, let me look at it. I think it was the Merlino gang or something.
Yeah, the Merlinos. The Merlin, they're fish.
Yeah, Merlin gang.
They're D&D players.
The Merlino gang is the one that was investigated in 1982. there was a leak that they were going to do that fucking heist.
Okay.
So the FBI looks into the Merlino gang, and they find a bunch of fucking people that are suspects. And they actually find, let's see, where is it? I think it got fucking deleted out of this.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Let me pull it up, and I'll just glance through it because I remember it.
Yeah, because basically that entire gallery was a retirement for anybody in the mob. Like,
Yeah.
if it's on their turf, they could take it whenever they want. If they got money problems, like, that's
This is big
basically
shit,
their
yeah.
asset.
Oh yeah,
if you think
absolutely,
about it, like,
yeah. So they look into Robert Guarente and Robert Gentile because there's information that these two guys have kind of been up to some shit. And Guarente died in 2004 of cancer. And they actually go interview his wife in like 2004. This has been ongoing for 14 years at this point.
even though it's past the statute of limitations.
Yeah, because the museum wants their fucking art back. And the FBI is like...
Yeah, you could still potentially trace it and get it back.
Yeah, and because it's become a federal thing, you may not be tried in Boston for theft, but federally with that much money, you can still be fucking tried. I mean, they're looking at two fucking petty criminals, and they go, oh, hey, statute of limitations is up after 5 years, and these two assholes start bragging about it. Guess where the FBI goes? And they're like, cool, now you're being federally charged, you dumb fuck. So
they tried that old switcheroo.
Yeah. So Guarente's wife talks about how she knows that he had some of those paintings in his possession.
Really?
She's like, I know he had some. He's since passed, but shortly before, like when he first got word that he was getting cancer, I swear to God he gave them to Robert Gentile. Because he was like, somebody needs to watch over these and like actually keep the upkeep on them.
Yeah,
because this is
they're
like,
so hot now.
Yeah,
that
this isn't
you
something that you
like,
just
you
fucking
sold...
toss in your garage and you go, oh, you know, I'm gonna die of cancer. Hopefully my fucking wife figures it out.
No, not even that. It's like at this point they can't sell them really because they're so hot, they're so sought after that any collector would just say, FBI.
Yeah.
I found them. Like, because they would get money for that.
We found them, boys.
Yeah, like, they're so hot, you've basically got to wait for it to cool off before you can sell stolen goods. Like, that's a whole aspect of fencing. Fencing as in the selling of stolen goods, not sword fighting.
Yeah, right.
When you steal the crown jewels, you can't just sell them at a pawn shop. Like, you have to find a collector who's quiet, who will keep it quiet,
and someone that's
for a personal collection.
Able to pay $10 million
and
for
somebody
a
who's not
going
to show it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if they do show it off, they're going to not turn you in.
And if they do it in, like, Russia.
Yeah, exactly. like
a non-extraditable country.
So if these were the guys and I was one of them, 100% we'd split up the art, maintain it.
Well, it's not even split up. Guarente just gives Gentile everything that he's got.
But up to that point, it had been split up, which is a smart thing. Maintain it on your own. Wait for them to close the case. Wait for it to cool off, and these paintings will be worth even more. Stolen art,
easy peasy.
Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but stolen art 100 years after it's stolen is so valuable.
Oh, yeah, it's niche as fuck.
And that was discovered in like the 80s and 90s. You know, art started to pop up where it's like, oh, they wrote about this painting and somebody found it.
It's crazy shit.
300 years later, and it's worth so much more.
All it does, is it just...
It commoditizes it even more.
So, the FBI is like, okay, then we'll reach out to Gentile. So they go talk to Gentile, and Gentile's like, I don't know anything about that. Like,
yeah, because he's a good mobster.
Yeah. So Gentile's like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And this was in 2010, I think, is when like they get enough information that they're like, okay, yeah, like we'll go do all this. So 2010, they talk to Gentile. They put him on a fucking polygraph test, and he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he fucks up one of the questions, even though a polygraph test is like completely bullshit.
It really is.
And he goes, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And they ask him a question about the widow, Guarente's widow. They go, like, did she have any involvement in this? And would she know that you have it? And he's basically like, she would, but I don't. And he's okay there. Like, they're like, okay, he's not lying. What the fuck? So he just goes. He walks out the door because they're like, well, it's inconclusive because it's a fucking polygraph test.
It can't hold up in court.
Yeah. So it's inconclusive. Gentile leaves. And 2 years later, they have been building a fucking case on him. And they bring him in for drug charges.
Perfect.
And because of the drug charges, they're like, we now have a warrant to search your home. They're not looking for drugs.
No, they're looking for the
paintings. So they kick in his door.
But he wouldn't keep it at home.
No.
He'd keep it in a specialized storage facility.
You would think. So,
oh, Jesus Christ. Is it in a toilet?
No.
God damn it.
So they kick in his door. His son's there, and his son's like, yeah, fucking check everything. I don't know what the fuck this art is that you're talking about. They check everywhere. They go to his back shed, and they find a little hatch down on the floor.
Badass. I want a shed hatch so bad.
So they open up the hatch, and they go down, and they find this like little secret fucking cellar dig out. Like, it's like a ditch, basically, that he's dug out down there. There's nothing in there. And they're like, okay, well, what the fuck is this about?
So
they ask his son.
Painting-sized hole in the ground.
So they ask his son, they're like, hey, do you know anything about this ditch that's in the shed? And the son goes, no, like, all I know is that it flooded like a while back and my dad was fucking pissed about it. And so they're like, okay. So they go back to Gentile and they say, hey, we found your little ditch. And he's like, okay. And they're like, what's down there? And he goes, I don't know, a couple of small engines. They're like, why were you so mad when it flooded? And he's like, because I had small engines down there that got ruined by water. What the fuck do you think? The other thing is, I don't think they disclose this information to him. They charge him with his fucking drug offense. He gets 30 months in prison. But they found a note with a detailed list of all of the taken pieces of art and the prices that you could get for it on the black market.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, because he's like, they ask him about it, and he goes, look, I'm a part of the mob. You guys fucking know that. And the only reason I have this is because a criminal acquaintance of mine and Guarente's had reached out, and I kind of acted as like a mediator between the two. So I found out all the prices for it. I was going to give it to the guy, but the guy's gone. So they're like, well, I mean, there's not really a lot of evidence that we can go off of based on this note. Just like I can have a fucking note with a breakdown of prices and shit.
Yeah,
Big
you
fucking
could
deal.
research all of the paintings of the Louvre
Yeah.
that haven't been stolen already and put down the black market prices for them.
And it's not evidence. So, excuse me. So there's an art thief that they reach out to named Miles Connor. And what is it? I don't know when they started working with him, but it's in kind of the 90s. And it moves into like the later 2010 area as well. So they talk to Miles Connor, and he's interviewed, and he says Bobby Donati and David Houghton did the heist. So they look into it. Bobby was killed in 1991 in a fucking gang war. So that's great, right?
Okay.
And Miles, the reason Miles is like, yeah, I know they did this is because he says, I've worked with Bobby in previous art heists. I've worked with him in previous mob shit. And Houghton, I don't know. Houghton visited him in jail and told him how they were going to use the paintings to get Miles out of jail because Miles has previously used that as a bargaining chip to reduce his sentence in the past. So Houghton and Bobby are like, yo, we fucking got this for you. Like, we'll hook you up, dude. Like, we'll go steal all this shit, whatever. They even tell Miles that they've cased the place, and this is like like I said, they're interviewing him in like 1997 over the course of like 13 years. They get all this information from him. So they're like, yeah, we cased the place. And Bobby even points out, yeah, there's this really sick golden eagle on the top of a flagpole that I want. And that comes out, and the FBI are like, fuck, we know who our guys are.
Yeah, like that is so specific.
Now, they're going to have to look for fucking Houghton. I'm going to call him Houghton.
Yeah, because the other guy's dead. So
yeah, because Bobby got killed
down.
a year after. Turns out Houghton died 2 years after the robbery from an illness. So your two number one suspects have been killed, one in mafia-related causes, and the other just because
syphilis-related causes or something.
Yeah.
A shrinking dick disease or something. I don't know.
Fucking lung cancer. Fucking hairy tongue from all the cigars. So Connor tells the investigators that he can assist in returning the Gardner works in exchange for the museum's posted reward, and he gets out of prison because he knows fucking details on this case.
So he's presupposing, he's basically telling them they stashed the goods, and I know where it is, and it hasn't been touched since then.
Or at least he's able to put them on the right track.
Yeah, or at least he knows who bought them.
Homeboy is a previous art thief.
Yeah, so he's got the
so
contacts.
He's like, I know fences. I can give up my contacts.
No, he
get
knows
me out of fucking
knows
prison.
buyers.
Yeah.
So
the FBI goes, okay, we'll consider it, and they come back to him and they go, all this is fucking speculation, man. These two dudes are dead. What the fuck what are we going to get out of this if we let you out? You get out and we go find these pieces of art and we can't put anybody behind bars because that's what's so important to the FBI. They go, no deal. And they're like, but give us one of your art contacts and we'll see if we can get this shit back. And he's like, fuck you, whatever. So he gives them one of the fences.
Yeah, because the idea is they can't just let him out and then go find them. You got to find them and then reduce the sentence or whatever.
They reach out to this guy named William P. Youngworth, a fucking art fence. And this guy has some fucking story about another, like, it's insane. He gets in touch with this like investigative reporter in like 2014, and the reporter's like, oh yeah, he shows me these fucking paintings and all this shit. But none of the paint matches up. Like, they do forensics on the paint. None of it matches to what they're actually looking for. No, he doesn't even. The guy doesn't even. The investigative reporter doesn't even see the paintings. He's like,
Jesus Christ!
He's like, he pulls it out. It kind of looks like it would be this specific one. I get a little paint sample. Take it to the FBI. Inconclusive. It's not the same kind of paint that would. It's the same kind of paint that would be used around then. So it would be a very valuable, like, piece of art. But none of it was used on any of these pieces. So it's completely inconclusive. Now, in 2014, that same reporter writes to Vincent Ferrara, who is in the gang that I talked about earlier, the Merlinos, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that was it.
Now, Ferrara is in prison, and he was Bobby's superior in the mafia. So he's asked if he has information about the Gardner theft, and if one of Ferrara's men have any information. And this reporter gets a call back from one of Ferrara's dudes that says the robbery wasn't gang sanctioned at all, but it was Bobby's own thing. Bobby visited Ferrara in jail 3 months before the heist and said, I'm going to use it to get you out of jail, Ferrara. And then 3 months later, Bobby comes back, tells him, yeah, that was me. I buried the artwork.
Oh, my God. Are you shitting me?
I'll start a negotiation for your release once the investigation kind of chills out.
And then he dies of lung cancer or whatever.
No. Bobby dies in gang-related causes in the fucking gang war. The reason he wanted Ferrara out is because Ferrara would have protected him during all this gang shit. And then he
That's
gets
amazing.
he robs this museum, gets killed in the gang war regardless. I think when he says it was buried, he's basically saying we have it climate controlled in Gentiles fucking thing. Because
that makes
like
sense.
it only makes sense. Why the fuck would you bury art? Like this guy's dumb, but nobody's that fucking dumb except for Rick. Like
Yeah, except for fucking Rick.
yeah, so a friend of Gorante also confirmed that Bobby was organizing everything and that they gave the pieces to Gorante during the gang war because he was away from all of it. Guarente. And Guarente and Bobby had always been pals, and they were seen with the police costumes at a club shortly before the robbery. All this came out in 2018. It was all this information came out. The FBI can't do shit about it because the two guys that fucking robbed this place are dead. All of the pieces of art are still fucking missing. None of it has been found.
Well, there's the thing. Do you think it actually flooded? He was pissed and had to get rid of it?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
The fact that not even a single piece has popped up
Yeah.
is the thing that implies to me that they're gone forever.
They did track that one of the pieces was sold in like Philadelphia,
Okay.
in like the 90s, I think, but they never were able to fucking trace it. Like it basically was sold and was like poof, gone.
So either it was sold to private collectors and we're never going to see it,
It wouldn't
or
surprise
they were
me.
destroyed.
It wouldn't surprise me if like some of the art was destroyed, like what you said.
Yeah.
You would split the
you
art
can't
up.
sell it all at
Like
once.
Guarente wouldn't give him all of the art. You don't fucking give somebody like $200 million worth of art, which by the way now it's worth over $600 million.
Jeez.
Like it is insane.
I wouldn't be surprised if they sold off a couple of pieces just when they could.
I mean, fuck, dude. You sell one piece worth like
You're
$10
good.
million bucks,
You're good.
and you have all this other shit that's still up for negotiation with the FBI. And it's like, yeah, we don't have one piece because we sold it to this guy in Philadelphia. And they're like, okay, well, we need to know who he sells it to. Okay, fucking talk to him. I sold it to him. He sold it to somebody else. And
Yeah.
you still give 12 fucking pieces back. You're in the clear, dude.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually like a couple pieces sold
Yeah.
off to bankroll it because they're like, well, they're dead.
Yeah.
So
To fund somebody's
and I just
cancer
can do
treatment?
this,
Yeah.
like, whatever. I'll just sell a couple of these when I can.
Yeah.
And they probably had to keep it cool because it wasn't gang sanctioned. So they also had to keep themselves off the gang list, the gang investigation. And then
Well, because of Whitey Bulger was known for fucking violence. Like this
yeah.
wasn't Whitey Bulger wasn't one that like he was just really like smooth and calm about shit. He was a motherfucker. And when he says I'm doing an investigation because I need tribute,
heads are rolling.
yeah,
Like that.
they're fucking problems. So there's a chance that they just fucking sold
cool.
one of the paintings and gave him some tribute. And they said, yeah, like we didn't take as many as they said we did. I don't know.
Or I mean, they very well could have just said, we didn't take these.
Yeah, they just don't fucking say
These
anything.
two
Yeah.
guys, these ones took them.
Yeah, it was Bobby and
Here you
Houghton,
go.
and they're dead now, so it's gone.
No, just to pay the tribute. Just say, they stole them. I got part of the collection for safekeeping. I don't know where the rest of it is. To keep you off of my back,
Yeah.
here's
Two
I'll sell
paintings.
one, I'll give you the rest. Or here's 3 paintings or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
And, burying it in the shed is a good way for other mobsters to not find
Right.
it. Like, and I mean, it's Boston, and you're digging a shed in your backyard. Water table's pretty high. Like, unless they were up on a hill, there's a good chance it would have flooded.
Yeah. So, the reason the title is the easiest way to make $10 million is not because you should rob a fucking museum.
Yes, you should. I mean, you shouldn't.
But if you go to the Gardner Museum website and you click on I think it's the link that talks about the heist itself. I think it's like thievery or something like that. It's really fucking pretentious what they have it under. They have a little statement on there. If you have any information on the paintings that total over $600 million in 2022, and it leads to a return, you are entitled to a $10 million cash reward.
I would rather keep the $600 million and sell it off.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But
So this is the easiest way to get either $10 million or $600 million.
So forward our podcast to them and then claim the money.
Yeah.
Because we've outlined everything.
Yeah.
Everything they need to catch somebody. We know who it is.
Yeah.
It was Bobby.
And I'll even include my source, and they can read through Wikipedia and find everything out about it that they need to.
Wikipedia and the Boston Globe.
But yeah, so if you need $10 million, easy peasy. I got a quick way for you. Yeah, and then like I said, we will have an episode out this or next week, and it'll be continuing and furthering the story of the Mountain Meadows Massacre that I talked about 2 weeks ago. It's like basically part 3. It's another little fucked up Brigham's fucking hitmen.
Hell yeah.
Brigham Young's Hitmen. That'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks on Patreon, so keep an eye out for it. If you're not a subscriber, fucking subscribe.
Yeah.
We give you an extra episode, and if we get enough of you on there, maybe we'll start doing 2 extra episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be able to afford to quit my job, and we'll do even more episodes, because AJ would love to do an episode a fucking day, and I would rather kill myself
every day.
But if I have 8 hours a day to do that, I'll do it.
Yeah, but what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
But we wouldn't be bad. Do a couple extra episodes, free episodes, paid episodes, everything. Probably paid.
If you can support us, kick ass. If not, it's okay. We appreciate you guys still listening.
You're still my friend.
Yeah. You got the names.
All right. So, of course, we've got the board who make all the decisions around here. Yep. So if you didn't like the episode, take it up with them.
Yeah.
It's Mini D, Nordic Thunder, and Toddle Waddle. Thank you guys so much.
The boys.
The boys, the chair.
The people, the people
of the chair.
Of the chair, yeah, the chair.
It doesn't really work, but it works. And then, of course, we've got the. I don't know why. I was just gonna start reading off like the ranks, not the names. I was like, wait, they're all the same.
Commander, what the fuck is this?
Over Commander, what the fuck? No, Abby, AJ's Third Nut, Haley, Thomas, Dark Runner, D's Nuts, and Lara Revo. Thank you guys so much for letting us keep doing this. We're, 3 years, 4 years, something? I don't know.
Yeah, we just put 3 years of this show in back in...
Like a month ago or something.
Yeah, September 9th or something.
No, August. No, it was September.
We recorded, but our first episode came out September 9th or something.
Yeah, technically, I've been doing this episode longer than I've been married to my wife. Let's keep it up.
But yeah, thank you guys. I know we've only been doing Patreon for like a year or two. I think 2 years now. Your support is greatly appreciated.
It really is.
Yeah, so thank you.
We would have quit a long time ago.
You'll be funding me going into one of the fucking... I'll be looking...
He's got a
into
list
one of the fucking stories.
Art thieves now. He's got a list of names.
I mean, now I've got a list of names, but there's also a chance that I can go to this fucking museum and see one of our stories. Like right there. Boom. I'm there. So thank you guys.
I'm going to give you my GoPro when you go on your trip. Okay. And I'll give you like the little clip attachment. I'll give you the forehead attachment.
Just buy me a fucking like little pen.
Little pen
camera, yeah.
That would be actually really
like one of those creepy button cameras.
No, never. I won't.
That way you see me in the bathroom because I completely forget that I have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really appreciate your guys' support. And as always, find us on Instagram and Twitter. If you ever need someone to talk to about your life problems, reach out to us. I don't know how much longer I can say this because we might be getting a social media manager here in a little bit. Oh
yeah, we are
potentially reach out there, but I can't guarantee, and I don't want to put too much pressure on them.
If you reach out,
they'll reach out.
The message
to us,
will get back to us, but you may be talking to our representative,
and we'll let you guys know when they're handling things.
Yeah, but really,
regardless, they'll contact us. Yeah, they'll contact us, and
it'll still get to us.
You'll still get our responses.
It just will be posting
now. You'll actually see posts and content on social media.
That doesn't make you want to go bald or something.
So find us there, and if you ever have show ideas, TV, movie, music, book, any form of media, whatever, if you want to share it on there, share it, send it to us on Instagram and Twitter @PointsOFPressure, and we will catch you guys next week.